Sock Passe.
What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Team Sock Passe podcast. My name is Glad.
And I'm your boy, Rob. We are your favorite Team Sock Passe podcast show where we interview great entrepreneurs from all sectors of industry. And remember to subscribe, share, comment below. Subscribe, share, comment below.
Now, guys, today we're live on location at the Loft BKNY in Brooklyn. We brunching today with DJ Mars. And at the same time, we're going to be presenting you guys some great interviews. And our first guest is folk artist Mikaelle Aimée.
Yes,
Hi,
yes,
guys. Thank you so much
Welcome,
for
welcome,
having
welcome.
Yes, we're going to clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Clap it up.
What's
Yes.
going on?
Hi, y'all.
What's up,
Thanks
girl?
for
We got you up
having me.
early in the morning.
Yep, it's all good.
Thank you.
know,
We really
this is our
appreciate you
life.
coming out here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
Yes,
Thanks
yes,
for what
yes.
you're doing.
No
this
doubt.
is fun.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Doing something different for the culture.
Got to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But it's all about you right now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We've seen you all around the circuit doing your thing, performing at. You go from everything from performing to big stages to small, intimate restaurants in the city, in different boroughs. How did this start for you?
Well, the New York scene, I guess, started in 2015 when I left Haiti for the second time to come live in the United States. It was sort of a fluke. I sort of got stuck here, believe it or not. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I was living in Haiti for like 7 years after college and so on. And when I came back for a quick visit, I didn't realize that I couldn't leave the country with less than 6 months on my passport. I didn't know about that, so I always try to warn people who don't know, because that's what happened to me. So I ended up getting stuck, didn't have a passport, hadn't had a bank account, had no address for residency, had to do the whole process. And so from that, actually linking with Haitians in Queens, where I was living, that gave me the opportunity to get started playing with certain jazz bands, a little bit of me and the guitar, and it started in Queens, and then it expanded towards Brooklyn. I went to Manhattan also with some band that invited me to sing with 2 other girls or whatever. We were gigging at like Wicked Willie's, the kind of college night circuit, fun, top 40 stuff. And then I moved to Jersey, and that's when I started exploring Jersey City, ended up playing. And I get actually a lot of birthdays and communions, wedding receptions and things like that. So that takes me everywhere. And like, for example, 6 years later, last night, I was singing with a wedding band on Long Island for this big wedding party. And so it expanded from the Haitian community, though.
Oh, wow.
You just told us a lot right there. Tell us about your experience growing up, because I didn't know you were born in Haiti.
I was actually born in Queens, New York, but my parents were already living in Haiti.
Okay.
How was that experience like for you?
It was, I didn't know any different, I guess. So growing up to Haitian parents who were from the diaspora, who went back to Haiti, right? Had an older sister. They went back to Haiti. They're actually ministers. So they had a church and so on. So I was raised in the church, very much, the pastor's daughter, all the typical syndromes of that. And it was, I guess, a bit of a bubble. And I didn't realize what was going on in the rest of the world until I was maybe like 15 or so, getting a little older. So I was 15 in like 2000, and that's when I spent 1 year in Miami. My grandparents lived in Kendall, so my parents let me do a year in the United States just for an experience. I was also extremely miserable in Haiti. I didn't appreciate it then. So that year in Miami opened my eyes on the world, because I started to see how people lived who weren't in such a small Christian circle. And I came to appreciate just like other cultures, because there were a lot of Colombians and Cubans and stuff. And I just got a different view of life. But then I also realized how good I had it back home. Maybe in part, the childishness of not wanting to do chores and things like that, but also coming to the realization that people in the United States, I loved seeing the freedom. I loved seeing kids just being kids and developing their personalities and being themselves, because I was so everything was sinful. Everything was bad. There was like a lot of shame and guilt associated in the Protestant church. So growing up, I wasn't really free to be myself. But by the time I hit 15 and I did that year in Miami, I was like, cool, so it's great to be yourself. But then I saw the other side of the coin when I realized that children in the United States are extremely ill-mannered. They do not respect each other, let alone their elders. And so I came to appreciate Haitian culture, our values, our kindness, our resilience, and things like that. So that was very eye-opening. I forget what the question was, but
No, I was
growing up, yeah.
We're flowing.
So then when I went
yeah.
back and stuff, that really gave me a huge leap forward in terms of social skills, in terms of understanding, how good I had it. And so when I went back to Haiti, I was at Kiskeya Christian School, so English speaking, smaller school or whatever, and I just blossomed, man. I did all the choirs. I started playing guitar. I started singing. I started the chapel band, and I just started to kind of develop my craft because I always sang in choir. In Haiti, right, my father was the pastor. My mother eventually also became a pastor. But my dad played guitar, and he led praise and worship, so I always saw somebody playing guitar, and we had it in the house. My mother was the choir director, so we were always surrounded by music. We couldn't listen to secular music, secular lyrics, but I knew every single jazz tune, just in the instrumental version, 1960s popular standards. So I was very well versed in music. I grew up with folk artists playing all the time, like James Taylor. We listened to a lot of Beatles, and these were all instrumental. So I started realizing that I know like a lot of music. And then I was playing church music, so I started writing music also a little bit later. So Haiti was really good because food's great.
Yeah, true.
There's a lot of help around the house.
Right.
There's a lot of just like, there were social activities that I started to partake in as I got to 16, 17 years old. So it was actually, I didn't appreciate how good I had it when I was there, but actually had a really good upbringing.
That's
And
good.
even though the church, stunted certain things, it actually taught me a lot of really good values that I carry to this day. And then just my parents gave me music.
Right.
And that's like the greatest gift. Those records that we played basically ingrained music in my head, and I just have never been able to get away from it.
Beautiful. So now, that's a great story. So growing up in a Haitian household here in America, and you were involved in the church. So now, who were some of your influences, like as far as in music is concerned, outside of the church?
So those instrumental versions that I was talking about, well, classical music was one, gave me a good understanding of music and movement and emotion in music. We were listening to everything from Mozart, Beethoven, Chopin, Tchaikovsky. Like I know all of them, Rachmaninoff, like all of them. And then listening to the Beatles were a huge favorite of mine. Even though we didn't have the lyrics, I just really liked the sound of the songs. And then one of the first artists, I guess it was my brother, right? So he must have been 13. We were young. He started getting, I don't know how. It's always the youngest, right? The youngest one always gets the most leeway. So he started coming home or having my parents buy us CDs when we would travel to the States. So Dido was a big one. I don't know if you guys know Dido.
No,
Clearly you don't from the look on your face.
No.
Dido,
I do not.
super formative in my life.
Okay.
And then I actually listened to Eminem.
Really?
Okay.
We somehow got our
Nothing wrong
hands
with
on an Eminem.
Eminem.
And then
That's what's up.
and then personally, I gravitated towards John Mayer. My
Okay.
favorite band also was Coldplay. One of the first
Oh,
songs
yes,
I
yes,
taught
yes.
myself on the
Coldplay's
guitar
That's dope.
Definitely.
was
Yeah,
called
nice
In
group.
My Place. And
Yeah.
Coldplay, just the writing, the songs, just the emotion, just the response that I gave to the music. I was like, there is something in this formula. So actually, the reason why I play guitar and write music is because of Coldplay and John Mayer. No lie.
Wow.
And then later on,
Okay.
India Arie came in and like sucker punched me with soul, and I was like, oh my god.
She needs to come back.
She
Yeah.
does stuff.
She does stuff? Right,
she
right.
she lives in her own, I've won 3 Grammys world, you know what I mean?
Right.
She's on a totally different level. She doesn't have to show out in the same way because of also the style of her music.
Correct.
So she does more. She does
Wow.
different stuff, but she's still there. So yeah, that's the influence. So that was guitar, that was writing,
Writing.
and then just listening to the radio and actually keeping up with. So Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion were obviously the powerhouses that inspired me to really sing. I realized though that I didn't have that kind of powerful voice. So it was always something I aspired to, but then it also just taught me to, not to stay in my lane, but to find myself.
Okay.
I was like, okay, so maybe I can't do all of that. But you know what? I'm going to work towards it. And so I've always just pushed and sang and sang and sang. And now I can actually pull off, some pretty powerful tunes.
That's cool.
No,
So,
you
so
definitely.
so did you perform a lot in the churches
Yeah.
that your parents were
And
involved
I
with?
had the worst stage fright, let me tell you.
Really?
I kept getting these solos because I sang, pretty good. And I guess I was the pastor's daughter, so there was maybe a little favoritism. But I did try out like everybody else. And so there was choir, mad rehearsals, a lot of Sunday services, standing in the front row, like dry throat, headache, tension in my neck, always
At what
after.
age is
I
this
was,
on?
I think I joined choir at 12.
Wow.
I think I was in choir from the time I was 12 until the time I was 22 years old. I was always in church choir, school choir, college, all of that. I just was always in choir. This was my life. I was the theater nerd. I was, just a geek for music. I loved it. All the performance. We had a troupe of friends that actually put on our own shows. We would learn poetry. We would do like spectacle just amongst ourselves. We put on some productions or whatever. So that was really the introduction to it. And then when I was 18 and I went to college, I participated in some kind of open mic thing and got invited to compete. I did really shit. It was so bad. But the producer liked one of the things that I did, and he encouraged me to start writing music. So I started to write music and then perform at open mic. So in college town where I was, in the college town that I was, it was called DeLand, Florida. It's like Central Florida. And they had a lot of rock cafes and stuff like that, blues cafes, whatever. So every week I would just go on whatever night, sign up, and just do my little whatever. But, I got a lot of encouragement for these American people, and they really pushed me to keep doing it. So I did that. And then when I came back from college and I went to Haiti in like 2008, thinking, because I studied international affairs. I went to college thinking I was going to work in development in Haiti, going to make a difference. That was like kind of my focus. I didn't really know how it was going to happen or whatever. I didn't have a set vision. So it got sidelined very fast when I couldn't really find a decent job or any kind of occupation in that
So you
field.
went back to Florida?
No, I was back in Haiti.
Oh, you were back looking for work?
I was back with my parents.
Right, okay, got you.
And so next thing I know, I went to Steve Azo, to the IT Diplomat.
Okay.
And then from there, the Haiti scene opened up. So I'm like 22, I sing at IT Diplomat. I'm going back every week. We do Havana Guitar Night. This is on Thursdays, on Wood Frère, en plein air,
Oh, wow.
little stage, and Beltoni and the Havana crew are setting it up. So that was another one. And then I got a gig, me and the guitar, on a Sunday for kind of like a brunch thing they did at Le Petit Coeur. This is in Pétionville. So things just sort of developed in Haiti.
Is that when you had the realization that you could take this as a professional?
That didn't happen
career?
until 2010 when the earthquake hit. I had actually gotten a job in 2009. I was working for the Fondation Voilà. So Voilà, the second largest telecommunications company at the time, had a foundation, and they were building basketball courts, giving out backpacks.
I remember that. Yes.
Buckets and things like that.
Right.
They were always doing something benevolent, but I was embedded in the marketing team that had to brand everything. And this was a very strange position for me, who is maybe like too altruistic. And I was like, why is Voila just putting their brand on everything, right? It bothered me. There was something wrong about it. I understand now that you can't really do one without the other with corporate funds, But at the time, I was very turned off by it. So earthquake hits. I'm in the third floor. It's about the end of the day.
You experienced?
I was in the house that was converted into an office. It was like a little FYI, Reginald Lubin famous Haitian actor.
Yes, yes.
It was his home that while I was renting, and it had been actually built in 2 parts. It was a 3 or 4 story building, and so the way that the shock waves hit or whatever, it flowed in a way, and it did not collapse.
Wow.
But
Wow.
the walls on the outside that were, across from the corridor,
Right.
where it's like only 16 or 20 feet high, and the building had swung so much, it broke the top of the wall,
Oh my God.
which just shows you how close to death
Wow.
like I came. And I was very, very blessed to survive that day, because when I walked outside,
Yeah.
people covered in dust, mothers crying, my child is in the school, they're buried, we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
We're walking around Pétionville, and it's just like complete devastation. And then only to find out that downtown was much, much worse.
Right.
So it was a fear and a panic that you can never imagine unless you're there. In fact, when I first felt the shaking, I was like, "Yo, who is bombing Haiti? Did they just drop a bomb?" It felt like when you're in the basement in New York and like a big semi comes by and it's like gunk, 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 gunk. It was very. I didn't know what was happening at first.
Wow.
But yeah, I survived that, and I was like, "Oh well, if there was ever a time for me to make a change," because what started happening actually was the still small voice started to speak to me. And it started like, you have to leave your job. This isn't where you're supposed to be. And then it was like, you have to leave your job and find your purpose. This is not serving your purpose. And it was just all the time hitting me. And after several months of, the relief effort, and I'm at Voila, and we're trying to do something to help, that voice it didn't go away. And then I was just so turned off by the response and by they were so interested in making money off of the crisis or during the crisis. And I mean, I guess I get it now, but in my young, very altruistic mind, I just couldn't understand why people were being treated a certain way. And then I came to realize, though, that even the international community that wanted so much to help, they were sending over a bunch of bodies to help that don't speak the language, where we just lost, over half of our housing. Where are we supposed to put you? So even if you come down with tents, after you've done your work for a certain amount of time, guess what? The people who have homes are going to rent it to you. Put that neg. You're paying all of this money for an apartment that a Haitian could have lived in. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so I really had a lot of beef with that. So I just turned to music, man. I quit my job. I started a band. And we did one big show at this place. I think it was at the it was en Léa, na Montagne Noire.
One time. Okay.
Anyway, so we did it in one of the side rooms, and that was actually a huge success. I got so blessed because I got help from a couple people when I launched the band, and then from there I got my weekly gig at Quartier Latin, which a lot of people from Haiti know me from, and from the international community know that on Wednesdays we would do a jazz show. I had Watson on bass, I had Ferdinand on guitar, I had Malco on percussions.
Wow,
we didn't even do drums.
These are big.
And then I had
big
Mikaelle on
names.
sax.
Big names.
So
right
these
there.
are the guys that I started with,
Okay,
and
cool.
they've all gone on to just continue playing music either in Haiti, Watson's in Canada,
Right.
and they're just exceptional musicians that made me better.
Nice.
And so I did the jazz thing every Wednesday, and that was fun. And then eventually I got a television show on Métropole in 2012. And that was a very great time in my life because every week we would interview somebody in the studio. And by the way, growing up speaking English and never going to French school or being really around French people, because my parents' church is c'est population, so it's Creole.
Right.
And so my Creole also was like terrible. But imagine I go off to college, I come back, and I still don't speak French very well. And then they put me on this show, and I have to speak French. Can I tell you how long it took to tape each show? It was incredible. So, but Myrtle Night lasted for 2 years, and so that was a very special time. And that's
Now the roles reversed because now you're being interviewed.
I know.
That's what's
Just so I mean, hit me with some more questions, I guess, so I could.
That's big. That's big. That's big.
I want to talk about the music industry.
Sure.
You take your music very seriously. Was there ever a moment? Oh, yeah, you do. Was there ever a moment where you wanted to go the major route, or because you're an independent artist, correct?
Right.
And you know, you like I said, you take your craft very seriously. So you just wanted you had no aspirations to go on the getting like a major distribution deal.
So here's what
But are there opportunities
Right.
for your category as far as like folk artists? Do they have those deals out there as the other artists?
So I'm a kind of an explorer, I guess, in my life. I don't, unfortunately, because of the way I was raised, I did not see a lot of examples to follow that I felt were attainable. And then everything was just so shrouded in you can't do that. So as far as musical aspirations, as I said, I stumbled into music. Music just is the thing that opens doors and I just walk. So there hasn't been a very good plan, but there have been people who have been like, yeah, sing this trash song with like shit lyrics and put on a short skirt and some heels and shake that ass and we're gonna make you a big star. Like I got that several times along the way. And I've been scammed mostly by managers. So I don't with managers.
So you don't have a manager?
I do not have a manager.
Okay.
And the only people I allow to really help me are people who have proven to be true friends or, other musicians and whatever. And I'm not looking really to get put on to mainstream anything. So in the songwriting process and the development of my personal art, it's really been a journey of figuring out what do I have to say that's so important for the world, because I'm very content performing other people's music. I have a lot of fun doing covers and singing everything from soul to folk to Haitian chanson, to Haitian folklore, to serenade, a little bit of compas. I do bossa nova. I do jazz. Like I have so much fun in all of these genres. So when I create music, it's really more of a process of let me put it out there because I know it's in me, so I have to put it out. But as far as finding an avenue to release it, I'm still kind of stuck on that because there's a certain amount of a team that you have to have and a support system that you have to have that I'm just like not confident in enough to be like, okay, guys, so let's get $50,000 together and let's make this work. You know what I mean? Because it really does take, if you want to come out as an artist like big time like that. So
you need that funding.
You need funding, and right now it's not there. Nobody's interested in pushing, a girl on a guitar.
But why?
Your fan base
What's your fan base?
Your fan base is crazy.
I mean, exactly. They're waiting for music, and so when I put out my music, it's going to be for them. It's going to be for them to enjoy, and as they push it to their friends or whatever, it's going to be fine.
So let me ask you this: so, do you think, because your genre is folk, soulful, or a little bit of R&B mixed?
So what it is, it's anything from folk to soul, but also it has a very eclectic kind of ethereal feel.
Right.
Some of the things that I'm working on, for example, with a guy named Gurpal, he's my producer. He's a lawyer, but he also produces great music.
Interesting.
And the things that we're writing about are they're not subjects that you can really put your finger on.
Okay.
They're not. It's more musings about life. What is our place in this world? Because at the end of the day, I am not really. I'm not really grounded in this materialistic world. I do not care about job and working for 30 years so that I can retire somewhere. That has never been the goal. And I know so many people who are like that. So I make music for people who are like that and for people who are searching for the higher purpose of life. Okay. My song will never tell you to go out and get that bag. Never.
Right,
I'll be like, go and find inner peace.
I've witnessed I'm sitting there listening to your lyrics, and I'm just like, wow, like you're deep in thought. You're very passionate, extremely passionate about your lyrics, and you're going through certain experiences, and you can tell when an artist is singing, like, okay, yeah, she's going she's been through that or he's been through that.
And because I've been there and I've been through heartbreak, through terrible, terrible decisions, and living with the consequences. And then I just want people who don't, everybody has some kind of outlet, somewhere they can go. But I just want to be an extra place that somebody can go to process their emotions. Because a lot of times we let things hurt us and then we stay in the hurt. We don't process it. We don't release it. So it stays there like a heavy load on our backs and on our consciousness. And it will ruin your life.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so I'm going to put this out there. We're going to cry about it. And then we're just going to move on. Because there are people waiting to be saved. And my problems do not compare to people's real problems. And real problems stem not just from the person and their inabilities or their mistakes, also from a system that is broken and that is stacked against every human being that is part of the worker class, the worker ant class. And we are exploited constantly. And I'm not going to give somebody the satisfaction of fueling that vanity, because we're more than just these physical beings, right, that are running around. Like, really, our purpose is to have a corporate job and exploit the planet for resources so that everybody can have a goddamn cell phone in their hands and everybody can drive a gas guzzler everywhere. Like, really? This is what we're doing on this beautiful planet. This beautiful, amazing, perfect place. This is what we've done with it. So I'm a huge environmentalist. I'm all for eating healthy, for staying away from meat, for finding clean alkaline water, for filling ourselves with natural greens and reds and orange, and just like eating well, and then be zen. I don't see the purpose for life being how it is.
See, Matt,
so I fight that shit.
Matt, you got to stay away from that grill.
This
bro.
is Matt's cracking up.
Matt is cracking
This
up.
interview just got real therapeutic.
Wow,
Rob.
I'm just like, okay.
But everybody
you're
has
not
a choice to
vegetarian.
make.
You're not a veg. Are you a vegetarian?
I eat fish and I eat my greens.
Okay, so
and
that's-
even fish, I'm like, don't OD on it, because I'm like, man, they're still beings.
They're still beings,
and we're
right,
still
right.
whatever. And my main problem with meat really is just the overexploitation. I would never tell somebody don't ever have meat because, hey, they're animals, they're there. Yes, we can eat them, but it's the overindulgence. My problem is that in human beings, we overindulge in comfort. There's a system that's been created, perhaps by our lack of choice, our lack of choosing and actively guiding the world in a certain position. Other forces have come in and been like, well, you didn't want to make this decision, so we're going to make it easy for you. Somebody over here is going to pull plants out. We're going to dump preservatives in it, and we're going to put it in a can. We're going to put it in a pouch so that you, while you're slaving away on your 9 to 5, you don't have time to go take care of a garden, even a community garden. Nobody does that. We don't compost. We fill our landfills. Like, listen, the world's a damn mess and we could be doing better. So I am a little bit more of the philanthropic, kind of trying to figure out like better systems and what can I do? Because I can't sit on a soapbox if I'm still producing all the trash or whatever, if I'm still driving my car. I mean, I wish there were a better system. So I'm trying to find like-minded people who are maybe living in a different way. I'm very careful about the food that I ingest, but I also understand that not everybody has that choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I try to call out the bigger systems, because if people together rise up and we create other systems, I mean, shit, our force is limitless.
Wow. And all of those beliefs are in her music, people, for sure.
It's coming. It's
That's
coming.
deep.
So let's talk about what's
The
coming.
music that's coming.
Let's talk about what you got going on next. I know that you were doing a video shoot or getting ready
So
for
working on the
shoot.
video shoot, and that's actually something. The song actually is called J'ai envie, and I'm really excited to hear it. Because
What does that mean
for
for
everybody
those-
to hear it?
for those of you-
Oh yeah, because it means I desire, I want.
Okay.
And it's a zouk song, which is similar to Haitian compas. So it's compas. It's a soft compas.
Okay.
Which is the Haitian partner dance music that is the most popular. That everybody is like, you need to sing more compas. You need to sing more hype stuff. I'm like, okay, Jesus Christ. Let me make this song. Maybe you'll like me more. I don't know. But actually, the song is pretty dope. But
cool.
it's a love song. But I have a different twist on it where it's English, French, and Creole. And basically, the storyline is love throughout eternity. So love over many lifetimes. So trying to get 8 actors that are going to be dressed first for the 1800s, then for the 1940s, then for the present time is like been a super challenge.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody
So
wants
you
to
go-
help with that,
that's
we're
so
going to
dope.
pull off this amazing production for GLV.
Oh, wow.
And then I have my project with Gurpal that is called Hope in Disguise.
Okay.
And several of the songs, like I said, are a little ethereal. They're not really concepts you can grasp as much as thinking about your place in the world, thinking about what exists and why things are. It's like existential crisis music. And then I have a couple of soul songs. One is called, they're like all heartbreak songs a little bit. Like, Leave Me Alone.
Right.
And Lay Me Down. Lay Me Down is on Spotify under Mikaelle. And then my Haitian tune called Adye is on Spotify as well, Adye. And that's a song for Haitians to come to terms with the work that we have to do for our country.
Nice.
Beautiful,
Nice.
beautiful.
Wow.
I know we're running out of time. Rob, it's time for the dip in the cookie jar, right?
Yes. So we have this cookie jar, right? We need
30
like a
seconds.
background music. Or something. Yeah. Forget Matt, man, with the 30 seconds, whatever. Bro, so these are questions.
Pick
And
them
just
randomly.
pick random one. And
There we go. And answer it.
Yep.
When was the last time you brushed your teeth? No, I'm lying.
Yeah,
Where do I
was like-
see myself?
I don't remember that
That's not
I was,
it.
I was looking at it. I was like, really?
Where do
bro?
I see myself in 3 years? Hopefully not in the United States, living on an island somewhere, homesteading and dealing with bugs. I want that to be my biggest problem, is the amount of rain I get for the year. That's the kind of problem I want. I don't want parking tickets, speeding tickets, and
Amen to
dickhead
that.
policemen on my ass. I don't want that.
Wow.
Can I
Give me
ask-
some open air. Give me
I-
a banana plant. Give me my herb garden. We're gonna.
Barefoot.
barefoot. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Quick question. They should have had it in here, though. How does your parents feel about this? Because Haitian, you're not a doctor, not a lawyer. You want
My parents were never really like the type of people who
Okay.
were like, be a doctor, be a lawyer, because they did not walk a very
Okay.
whatever path.
All right, cool.
They became missionaries and left everything in the United States to go
Okay.
to Haiti to minister to.
So they live in
people.
Haiti still now?
They're still in Haiti. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Mhm. They
I
have
can
the church.
definitely
and
see
stuff.
you out there. Like,
So, I mean, I'm a nature freak. And if growing up in a Christian household ever like gave me like this weird, I'm battling with something, is that I'm a nature lover.
Okay.
Like Mother Gaia is my goddess. She is the one I must protect at all costs. Like, this is the person I'm most concerned about, is the planet. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey people, let's take care of this place. Like, that's why I'm such like a person for natural whatever. I just would like to see life live differently. So my parents, even if my mother said, even if I have in a song like, oh, I want to love you, or I want to touch you, my mother's like, you don't think you could say it a little differently? People are, I'm like, Mom, Jesus.
that is funny.
So yeah,
That is
I
funny.
mean, they don't
Wow.
really know where it's going yet, but they're pretty, so long as I don't like dance too much, they're pretty supportive.
We have literally 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Can you play a little something or sing a little something for us before
Yes. Okay.
you get out of here?
So this is my song called In the Night. I woke up singing it. In 2013, and it actually made it across to the waking side. In the night, the darkness swallows hope. We can't be left alone. We need a hand to hold. Strife will follow every twisted word. We're all part of a herd, marching though our feet hurt. Marching, marching, marching. We live in the night, waiting for the light, for the light. We live in the night, waiting for the light, for the light.
Wow.
Jeez. Give it up, give it up, give it up. That was beautiful.
Awesome.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I wanted to cry. Wow,
Wow.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thanks. Wait till you hear the rest of the song. I'm excited. That one
That was
I
beautiful.
recorded a couple
Wow.
years back, and
Okay.
we just got to
Where
put
they,
it out.
tell them where they can find you again.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I don't tweet, but it's Mikaelle Aimée, Mikaelle Aimee, Aimee.
Wow, we're standing next to the real gypsy herself, a living gypsy.
The living gypsy. That's so dope.
Namaste. Seriously. Thank you
for
so
doing
much.
this.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Appreciate
much.
it.
We really
Beautiful.
appreciate you on here, and we're looking forward to always supporting you and your live
Thank you.
performances.
Thank you.
And
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, ladies
And stay
gentlemen.
tuned to the Sock Passe podcast.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you again. And remember to subscribe, share, comment below. Subscribe, share, comment below. And Team Sock Passe podcast. And that is it.